What if I told you that 12 simple questions could completely transform how you see yourself, your problems, and your entire life? These aren't just any questions. They're ancient Stoic wisdom that has guided emperors, philosophers, and successful people for over 2,000 years. And by the end of this video, you'll have a mental toolkit so powerful that every challenge you face will become an opportunity for growth. Stay with me, because question number 8 will literally blow your mind and change how you handle stress forever. Before we dive into these life-changing questions, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Why? Because I'm committed to bringing you daily Stoic insights that actually work in the real world. Not philosophical fluff, but practical wisdom you can use today. And if you stay until the end, I'll give you a bonus question that Marcus Aurelius used to make the most difficult decisions of his life. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Insights, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. I'm your host, and today we're exploring something extraordinary. You know, most people go through life reacting to whatever happens to them. They're like leaves in the wind, completely at the mercy of external circumstances. But the Stoics discovered something revolutionary. The right questions can transform you from a victim of circumstance into the architect of your own destiny. These 12 questions aren't just intellectual exercises. They're mental tools that have been tested by some of history's greatest minds. Marcus Aurelius used them to rule an empire. Epictetus used them to find freedom even as a slave. Seneca used them to build wealth and wisdom simultaneously. And here's what I promise you. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete framework for handling any situation life throws at you. Plus, I'll share the one question that completely changed my perspective on failure and success. Question 1. What is within my control right now? This is the foundation of all Stoic thinking. Epictetus taught us that we suffer not because of what happens to us, but because we try to control things that are fundamentally outside our control. Think about your biggest stress right now. I guarantee you're worried about something you can't actually control: other people's opinions, the economy, your past mistakes, or future outcomes. But here's the power move. When you ask yourself, what is within my control right now, you immediately shift from powerless to powerful. You can't control whether you get the job, but you can control how well you prepare for the interview. You can't control whether someone likes you, but you can control how authentically you show up. This question alone will eliminate 80% of your anxiety. Question 2. How can this obstacle become the way? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This isn't positive thinking nonsense. It's a practical reframe that turns every problem into a training ground. Lost your job? That's your opportunity to find something better aligned with your values. Relationship ended? That's your chance to become the person who attracts healthier relationships. Failed at something? That's data for your next attempt. The Stoics understood that obstacles aren't punishments, they're curriculum. Every challenge is life asking you, are you ready to level up? Question 3. What would I do if I weren't afraid? Fear is often our biggest obstacle, but it's usually based on imaginary futures that never happen. The Stoics practiced negative visualization not to be pessimistic, but to realize that most of our fears are paper tigers. When you ask yourself this question, you're not being reckless. You're distinguishing between rational caution and paralyzing fear. Most of the time, the thing you're afraid of either won't happen, or if it does happen, you'll handle it better than you think. Question 4. Am I living according to my values right now? This question cuts through all the noise and gets to what really matters. The Stoics believe that the only true failure is failing to live according to your principles. Are you being honest? Are you being courageous? Are you treating others with justice and kindness? Are you growing in wisdom? These 4 cardinal virtues, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, are your North Star. We're just getting started. And I can already see how these questions are building a complete philosophy for living. Remember, I promised you that question number 8 will completely change how you handle stress. And we're almost there. Question 5. What is this situation trying to teach me? Every experience, especially the difficult ones, contains a lesson. The Stoics saw life as a school where every class is mandatory and every test is open book, if you know how to look for the answers. That difficult boss? They're teaching you patience and professional boundaries. That financial setback? It's teaching you resourcefulness and the difference between wants and needs. That health scare? It's reminding you what truly matters. When you approach life as a student rather than a victim, everything becomes valuable data for your growth. Question 6. How will this matter in 10 years? This question provides instant perspective. Most of the things that stress us out today will be completely forgotten in a decade. That embarrassing moment, that social media drama, that minor setback, none of it will matter. But here's the deeper insight. The way you handle today's challenges is building the character you'll have in 10 years. Your response to small difficulties is training for how you'll handle big ones. Question 7. What would Marcus Aurelius do in this situation? This isn't about hero worship. It's about having a decision-making framework. Marcus Aurelius faced plagues, wars, betrayals, and personal losses while trying to rule justly. His approach was always, what does virtue require of me right now? When you're facing a difficult decision, ask yourself, what would someone with unshakable character do? What would someone who values wisdom over cleverness, justice over advantage, courage over comfort, and self-discipline over instant gratification choose? Question 8. What if this is exactly what I need right now? Here's the mind-blowing reframe I promised you. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what if this is exactly what I need for my growth right now? This question transforms you from a victim into a participant in your own development. That rejection? Maybe you needed to develop resilience. That criticism? Maybe you needed to examine your blind spots. That loss? Maybe you needed to appreciate what you still have. This doesn't mean being passive or accepting injustice. It means recognizing that life has a way of giving us exactly the challenges we need to become who we're meant to be. Question 9. How can I be useful right now? The Stoics believed that we're all part of a larger whole, and our job is to play our part well. When you're feeling lost, depressed, or purposeless, this question immediately connects you to something bigger than yourself. How can you help your family, your community, your colleagues, even strangers? Service to others is the fastest way out of self-pity and into meaning. Question 10. What am I grateful for right now? Gratitude isn't just a nice feeling. It's a practice that rewires your brain to notice abundance instead of scarcity. The Stoics practiced gratitude not because their lives were easy, but because they understood that appreciation is a choice. You have things right now that you once desperately wanted. You have capabilities that millions of people would give anything to have. You have opportunities that your ancestors couldn't even imagine. We're in the final stretch now, and I can feel the power of these questions building. Plus, I still have that bonus question from Marcus Aurelius that I promised you, the one he used for his most difficult decisions. Question 11. How can I turn this into a win-win? The Stoics understood that true success isn't about defeating others. It's about creating value for everyone involved. When you approach conflicts and negotiations with this question, you move from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Instead of asking, how can I get what I want? Ask, how can everyone get what they need? This approach builds relationships, creates trust, and often leads to solutions that are better than what anyone originally imagined. Question 12. What would I regret not doing? This is your deathbed question. When you're old and looking back on your life, what will you wish you had done? What risks will you wish you had taken? What love will you wish you had expressed? What dreams will you wish you had pursued? The Stoics practiced memento mori, remembering death, not to be morbid, but to clarify what truly matters. When you remember that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on things that don't align with your deepest values. Here's the bonus question I promised you, the one Marcus Aurelius used for his most difficult decisions. What does the common good require of me right now? This question elevated Marcus from just another emperor to one of history's greatest leaders. When facing any decision, He didn't ask what would benefit him personally, but what would serve the greater good. This question forces you to think beyond your immediate desires and consider your role in the larger human story. It's a question that transforms leaders from politicians into statesmen, business people from opportunists into value creators, and individuals from consumers into contributors. Now, here's how to use these questions in real life. Don't try to memorize all 12 at once. Pick 3 that resonate most with you right now and practice them for a week. Write them down. Put them on your phone. Ask them when you're stressed, confused, or facing a decision. I recommend starting with 1. What is within my control right now? How can this obstacle become the way? What would I regret not doing? These 3 alone will transform how you approach challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. If these questions have given you a new perspective on your challenges and opportunities, show me by hitting that like button. Seriously, it tells me that this content is helping you build a stronger, wiser, more resilient version of yourself. And that motivates me to keep bringing you this level of practical wisdom. Now here's what I want you to do. In the comments below, write question 8 changed my perspective, and tell me which of these 12 questions hit you the hardest. I read every single comment, and I love seeing how Stoic wisdom is impacting real lives. And here's something important. Share this video with someone who's going through a tough time right now. These questions could be exactly what they need to shift from victim mode to victor mode. You might literally change someone's life by hitting that share button. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe and ring that notification bell, because I'm committed to bringing you daily Stoic insights that actually work in the modern world. No fluff, no theory, just practical wisdom you can use today. And here's my promise to you. Come back next week and tell me how these questions have changed your approach to life. I want to hear your success stories, your breakthroughs, and your transformations. Your testimony might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Remember, you have everything you need within you right now to handle whatever life brings. These questions are just tools to help you access that inner strength and wisdom. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and keep growing.